Hi, welcome to my channel in Conversation with Nivedita. Today I have with me a guest whose story that has the makings of an international bestseller, book, movie, and more. When I first heard of him, his tryst with life and the challenges he has willed through to reach where he has today, I actually had goosebumps. But wait, before we go ahead, have you subscribed to this channel yet? Go ahead and do that, for we will get to learn about education and its power of empowerment together. I am Nivedita, and with me I have today Bhadrasen Negi joining me from Los Angeles. Hi.
Hi, ma'am.
Good morning from here and a good evening to you.
Good morning and good evening.
Let us start from the beginning, Bhadrasen. When did your journey begin? How old were you and where were you when you started this journey?
Wow. That's way back. I think I was around 8 years old, pretty much.
Mm.
8 years old when I actually decided or actually asked my parents that I wanted to leave the village and go in the city to pursue education. So it took me around a year to convince them, but finally they agreed that I think by 9 o'clock, they agreed to send me to Shimla, which is capital of Himachal Pradesh. And that's our big city from where I am. I'm actually from Kinnaur, Himachal Pradesh.
That's very far.
That's very far.
Very far from Shimla also.
Yes, it's actually it's not that like distance wise around 200 some kilometers, but it takes you about 8 or 10 hours drive. It's because of the hill and maximum mile is around 20 kilometers per hour.
My God. Yes,
So
yes.
yeah, that's when I started my life.
Mm.
Once I started moving to Shimla.
At that age, how did you think that you wanted to educate? Were there schools in your village? Were there other children going to schools? How did you think of? I'm trying to imagine 8 hours from Kashmir deep into the mountains. What kind of a school would it be, or was there a school at all?
No, no, definitely there is a school. There was actually a good school, actually. I mean, at that time there for
Ah,
villages, it was everybody said it was a very good school.
okay.
I had a family incident happen to me in the village where I had my older brother. He had to get married at like 17 years or so. He got married very early. By that time, he was 20 years old. He has a girl, a daughter, and he fell on the river and passed away. That shook my world, and I just wanted to get out of the village and to pursue my education outside. That's how actually started.
And you came to Kashmir and you found,
No, Shimla.
Shimla, and you found a school, and you were very young at that time, right? You just came on
Around
your
nine
own.
years old, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe 9 or 10 years old by then.
Around the age of your son.
Around the age of my son, actually,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And you can imagine yourself, or you're, going to a big town and finding a school, or how did you go about it? I mean, did you go and get a school admission? And I mean, how?
No, they will luckily we have a family friend there
Okay,
who knew some people who needed help at home, like domestic help.
okay,
And that's how I actually went there and I met this family and they said, you can come and help us in the house and we'll send you to school.
okay.
So that's how I started.
And over the years, I mean, I hear that when you came to Delhi, I mean, you moved from one big city to another city. I mean, how was it from Shimla to Delhi and to Los Angeles? Was that the triangle, or was there many stops in between?
Oh yeah, there's many different stops. There is many different challenges. There was a lot of hard work, a lot of help from a lot of people to get all this happened. But from Shimla, I met a friend who said that there is some friend in Delhi who needs help and they are willing to send you a school.
Okay.
So pretty much then we moved from there. Couple years I went worked for there as a helping domestic helper. and then going to school on daytimes. And somehow, I don't know how I met, but I met VIDYA school, and they said there is this school and they are helping kid like you. I went there and met Rashmi ma'am, and long story short, then I ended up living and staying with Rashmi madam. So I was living and staying with her and going to school. So that was unbelievable.
Oh my God. Do you remember any highlights from when you stayed with Rashmi, who's the founder of Vidya, in her house?
Yes.
How did it go?
Oh, it was amazing. Obviously, you know how she's like.
Yes.
She's awesome teacher, awesome mother, and she amazingly treated me like son. You know, it was unbelievable. She gave me amazing education, amazing house, family. You know, Harsha, Kanishka, Bhaiya, like we are brothers there, and dogs over there. It was amazing. We had a lot of fun together. Learned a lot. That's where my life started becoming this life now.
So when you're saying of this life now, you are a computer scientist in LA?
I am a computer scientist. Yes, I work for Los Angeles County. I'm a senior application developer. I've been working for 13 years here now. It's been a while. So I've been doing very good. Thank God.
Yeah, so tell us, how did you move from Delhi to LA? That's a long journey.
Oh my gosh.
Yes,
That
tell us
is,
some of the highlights.
oh wow, that is a long journey. That started all from Prayas, right? It's a Vidya. Back then it used to call Prayas Foundation.
Okay.
So when I was there, it used to call Prayas Foundation. Now it changed to Vidya. So I used to go in that school, obviously staying with Rashmi ma'am and helping at home and going to school in daytimes. And there was a time in 1994, 92, I think, the Miss Hillary Clinton came to India in our school, in Prayas Foundation in Vidya. And somehow she decided to talk to me there. And there was a CNN people who were recording. And I just got lucky. I don't know how I got picked by First Lady of United States to talk to her. So she asked me a couple of questions like, what do you want to do? I just said, I want to be computer engineer. I think that's all it showed on CNN News. Because of that one clip, I want to be computer engineer. There is a family in Oregon. It's a white family, Mormon family. Husband is computer engineer. And mother is housewife. She stayed home and she saw me on the CNN News and she said, I want to help him somehow. She really pushed very, very hard to get me here. It's because of her, Rashmi ma'am and Vidya School, everyone has to work very hard, visa, and get here.
And what helped you push through? What kind of confidence or language did you have to be able to speak with Hillary Clinton?
I had to have English language, obviously. So, I mean, I was learning basic there. So I think they were translating. I think I said in Hindi, they translated.
Okay. And was the transition from a house in Delhi to where you moved in the US? How did it go? Was it smooth? What kind of attitude helped you through this period of transition?
Yeah, no, it wasn't like, obviously I was very lucky and very blessed and very thankful to be here, and it wasn't easy at all. Living with obviously Indian family all my life, and only language I know is Hindi, and then ended up coming to US and living with US family, and they only know English. So there is no translation between us. So it was very, very challenging in between in the beginning. But I had to work very, very hard. It became easy quickly. It became very easy quickly.
I understand that you worked many jobs and studied and really made a life. Can you give us some top moments of what you did while in US to adapt to US and to ensure that what you had come for there to be the computer engineer? What did it take you?
Yeah, well, obviously I had to work very, very hard. The family that they invited me here, it was only for 1 year.
Okay.
After 1 year, I was supposed to go back.
Mm.
Luckily here, I asked for Indian community here if anybody can help me. And there was one lady in Oregon who was a community leader for Indian. Her name is actually Rita Soman. She put an ad on newspaper asking for Indian community here for help. If we have this kid, he wants to stay here for education, if anybody can assist. So we put an ad there. I don't know how I get lucky every time. So there's this family in LA saw my ad and they called me, or they called the auntie. I called her auntie, Rita auntie. So they said we would love to keep him here. They brought me down here. They give me visa extension for another year or so. So once I came down here, they got me admission in City College here in Long Beach City College. And because of that, I got visa extension. Um, and then everything started. Once I got visa extension, I got a job. I got multiple job. I got, because of international student here, you are allowed to work 20 hour in campus here back then. So that's what I did. I worked 20 hours in campus and then I had to work outside, which is called illegally here, under the table, because I'm not legally allowed to work back then. So I worked a couple other jobs like that and I paid for all my own expenses. So I get my own apartment eventually. I lived myself. Life became better and better after that. Yeah. So now it's amazing life. Now I have wife here, I have kid here. So life is good now.
What would have been, if you were to look back, what would have been a few top contributing factors to your being able to overcome? I mean, it is just a few minutes that you have shared, and we have compressed a
Mhm.
life long journey and life of challenges and overcoming challenges. What were some of the contributing factors you think now when you see back that helped?
Yeah, for me personally, it helped me living in India, obviously coming from the tiny village, and I seen pretty much all the life from nothing to top to bottom. So it really helped me. I mean, nothing, once I came here, I felt like nothing was difficult here, there was a lot of opportunity here. Pretty much everybody wants to help everybody here. So as long as you are willing to work hard, there is everybody was here willing to help you. It just you had to work hard, and which I know all my life I can do that. So I worked very hard. Everywhere I do, I worked very, very hard. And now I have a respect from a lot of people, even here also. Even I can't even believe that.
So
So
would you say that at this point in time, you feel successful? What does success mean to you?
well, yeah, obviously, like the back then, what I thought my successful. If I think back then, I'm successful already. I'm not only successful, I'm way above what I was thinking or dreaming back then. I'm way above that. But now I am there. Like I think like the success have a no ending. Like there is, you keep growing, you keep growing. And because of that, I think you bring a lot of people with you. So there is a lot of people succeed with you. So I think success have a no ending. It's gonna keep growing. I don't know where I'm gonna end up, but it's gonna keep growing.
How wonderful it sounds. You bring a lot of people along with you when you are successful. So do you think you have some influence on your family, on your village, um, in India over the years? What kind of influence have you had there?
I would love to see I am doing something. I want to do, especially in my village, because my whole idea was to do something good for that village. Because of what happened to my brother. Um, every time I go back there, all those young kids, everybody really, really look at me. And I do little bit right now, but I need to do more for those village. But obviously, everybody look at me. Everybody have a lot of respect at me. Everybody wants to get guidance from me. How can I do it? What can I do it? I want to get out also. I want to get education. I want to learn something. So it's village is amazing. Everybody have a lot of respect for me.
You're one of the absolute stars of Vidya, if I may say. And Vidya works with socially, economically disadvantaged children, literally thousands of children. And you are much spoken about. If you were to leave a message for the Vidya kids today, what would that be?
I think the simple message is dream big. I mean, the dream big, and when you dream it, don't just dream it. Work for it. Get it. Go get it. You know, nobody's gonna come give it to you. Dreaming doesn't come reality unless you work for it. Work hard. Dream big and work hard.
Wonderful. I think dream big and work hard are straight, simple, and yet very powerful message that we can leave with today. Thanks, Bhadrasen, for joining me. There's so much
Thank
to
you,
be
ma'am.
done to, so much to be done to reimagine education, as we know, and more power to you so that you can be inspiring to everyone around and continue to be inspiring with everyone around, especially Vidya, especially your village. I wish you and Team Vidya all the best. What a story to show the way to equity and inclusion in the world of education with education. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
ma'am. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
If you'd like to hear more of what is happening in education, subscribe to this channel so that you're alerted of new content. Happy learning and bye for now.
Bye.